Well, it's Friday. Happy Friday, people. I'm just excited to be here with you on the show today. Thank you for your patience, because I know it's been a hot minute since I've been here with you guys, and I love being here on the podcast with you. Today I normally work on my throat chakra, and I think we've all been doing that a little bit during Mercury retrograde, and let's talk about that. That's all about self-expression, leadership, how we listen, how we communicate, very mindful listening, really respecting people when we listen to them and hearing, not just, listening to respond, but really hearing what people have to say. And I think that makes the world a better place, right? Sometimes people don't want to hear you. They only want to say what they want to say. They disregard you completely. And I know that I've been terrible in my throat chakra over the years, and I know that it's caused me many problems, miscommunication, lies, deceit, and it's just nice to be free from that being, because that's not who we are. None of us want to go through life and be dishonest or not very good with how we communicate, whether it be our feelings or, we want to be truthful, because you know what? It makes you sleep better at night, doesn't it? And it makes you realize that, being that person who's not completely honest about certain things will only limit you in life. And none of us want to be limited. I mean, we're limitless, but we are only limiting ourselves by our thoughts, feelings, behaviors, actions, etc. So, I've been struggling a little bit with my solar plexus, and I thought, this is a great opportunity for me to, get that balanced by doing something which I love to do, which is to be here with you, and to really talk about how we can spot the signs of a weak solar plexus, because I think I'm very lucky and very grateful that I have this awareness and this knowledge of the chakras, but I understand a lot of people don't. So when these problems arise in our physical bodies, and then we kind of tend to go to a doctor and, there's something wrong with I've got pain here, pain there. And the doctor's just like, here's a pill. There you go. That'll fix it. But then it really doesn't fix it, does it? Because you end up right back square one with the pain, maybe a little bit somewhere later on down the line. So really and truly, it is always getting to the root of what's causing the discomfort and the dis-ease within your body. Now, the solar plexus is responsible for action and energy, and using our energy and utilizing and, getting shit done and showing up and contributing to life. Energy creates energy. So we can't just be in this mode of, everything's going to happen for me. Even if we're spiritual people, we can't be like, the universe is just going to bring everything I need and I'm just going to sit here. No. That is not a powerful being. That's not a powerful creator. You are a powerful creator when you show up and you do the work. Hello, I'm here with you guys today. If I don't show up and do this work, I'm not getting my message into the world. Therefore, my gifts and talents and all the things and knowledge that I have is waste. And then I'll sit there and go, why aren't things working out for me? Or why aren't I getting clients? Or blah, 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 blah. And so we make these BS excuses as to why we can't show up. But really and truly, it's those self-sabotaging, limiting thoughts that stop us from being the powerful creators that we are. But there's a few other things we need to look out for as well. So, how we feel about power and powerful people. So, for instance, do you admire people that are in power? Do you feel that it's good that we have power in the world and people that are powerful and exude their power and understand their power and use it? Or do you feel that, no, it's not good and, people in power are bad and whatever. And that could be simply because your power is not in a line. Like, you're not aligned as a powerful creator. You don't understand people in power need to be in power some one way or another, or that people are using their gifts to be in power, whether you like it or not. But also, do you feel powerless? You know, do you feel powerless to certain situations? Do you feel like you don't have a say or a choice? Do you feel vulnerable and in a way in that you're submissive? You know, I understand tyranny is not good, by the way, and I'm all middle finger for the patriarchy in so many sense. I do believe there's a massive abuse of power, and that's the imbalance. But what's happening now and what the shift is in the world, because it is happening, because consciousness is rising and it's spreading, and we are becoming more aware of our power, is that, you know, the abuse of power where we are where it's tyrannic, and it's like, you know, oh, I have power over you and dominion over you, is slowly but surely, you know, people are using their voices. Women, there's a massive sort of rising of the women as well, which I think will be what the planet needs in terms of, you know, restoring harmony in that divine feminine. I believe that so much that's what's happening and what's going to happen. And just as I'm saying this, actually, I'm sitting outside in my front room, sort of staring out the window, and the sun is literally just shining right at me. And this is the solar plexus. This is what it means to be a powerful being, to be aligned with the sun, to get all that. We get all our nutrients and we get all our food from the sun, and how it grows in the earth. You know, where would we be without the sun? So just know that the sun is it's just beautiful, right? And we all know how much we need it. It's just to actually be staring at it right now, and it's sometimes just very mesmerizing, and it kind of really puts you in a place of appreciation and gratitude. I just thought I'd share that with you. So do you feel shame as well? Do you feel like you feel shame for the shame that's happened to you? Like, you know, not, oh, I've done all these terrible things and I've been a bad person and I've made so many mistakes, and how can I ever forgive myself? Or I carry this guilt as well, and you know, people will shame you. You know, you really can't shame yourself. And I've known, even throughout my own journey, through being who I am today, and gone through what I've gone through even the past year with a diagnosis of chronic illness, to giving birth, but really feeling powerful as that creator who's brought forth life. And so things can turn around pretty quickly, really quickly, in fact, once you really align with your power, understand who you are as a being. In many ways, that failure, that rock bottom, whatever you hit, could end up being the very thing that saves you and makes you into the being that you are. You know, it's not a bad thing to feel like you failed, because it makes you realize, it builds character, it develops strength and extreme resilience against what life will give you and what will happen. I mean, I think it was a gift that I actually got this virus, and that it was my ability to see it for what it was that turned it around for me. Another thing that you might realize that your chakra is weak, your solar plexus chakra is weak, is that you might be scared of your future. Not like, I think not being scared of your future, but also it's kind of like not being in touch with your now, isn't it? It's that anxious feeling that you might not constantly feel anxious, and it might not be something that you're really aware of. It could be sort of that underlying anxiety of, how's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And that would be 1% showing up and being present and loving life, and regardless of what's happening, and 99% saying, God, you've got me. Life, you've got me. Surrendering, which I find that a lot of people struggle with that trusting life part, which is really important, because we don't have to do as much as we think we need to do in order to succeed, in order to feel satisfied. It's these little things that actually make up these big wins eventually in life. And I think it's just we are so focused on the future and protecting what we have and afraid of letting go in order to move forward as in many ways, understanding that energy creates energy, and it's more important to be aligned with your own energy so that you can go forward and create whatever you want to create, then being solely focused on what the world wants you to be, or how others are perceiving you, or what you feel like you should be doing or shouldn't be doing. You could be, it's another sign that your third chakra is weak, is that you could be highly goal orientated. So that means like your to-do list, you've got a big long to-do list. And I think actually it's important to feel that we are being productive. And I think that, there has to be that happening in this chakra. But you can have overactivity. People that are so addicted to the gym and so focused on getting super lean and super fit, and I've got to have this and I'm not going to be happy until I've achieved this, or overworkers and, really high achievers. And I think, it's okay to want to be, perform at a certain level and to achieve and be successful. I think it's important, but not where it's detrimental to your well-being. So if it is, and it will be, is because, you'll feel stressed out, burnt out, you're tired, you're lethargic even, loads of other signs that will pop up and show up in your body and in your life. Sometimes we've got to be in that ease and that grace, and that's what the solar plexus is all about. There is power in grace and ease, so much more power than there is in this constant trying, upstream. We've got to be in that downstream, which is kind of flow, which is where it's all kind of really beautiful and wonderful and unraveling and unfolding before your eyes. You might feel like if you're not accomplishing things or something, that you're again, you might feel like you're a failure, and it could be that you're highly stressed. And if you find yourself being too busy all the time, I'm so busy, and it's kind of like a gloat, you want to tell people, I have such an amazing life, I'm so busy all the time, I've got amazing friends, I'm always going places, I'm super busy, but inside your soul is like, I'm tired, I've had enough, I don't even know what I'm doing this for, I just want to make this appearance. And it's kind of like becomes a badge of honor. But, but again, it could be detrimental to your well-being, and you just might not realize. It might not show up immediately, but it's something that, could manifest at a later stage. And this is why we should always check in on our feelings, always check on our body. If we listen to our bodies, like, this week I was suffering from some pain in my stomach. And it was sharp pain. It was very uncomfortable, and it's nothing that I've experienced recently. I've changed my diet a little bit. I've added some probiotics and some fermented food, and I understand sometimes that can, upset your tummy a little bit in terms of how you're introducing all this new bacteria. But no, this was kind of like an acute pain, and I looked it up and I thought, this could be my pancreas. And I knew when I was looking at my stools, because it's really important to check your stools, people. Your stools are a very important way of showing you what's going on in your body, like if you're getting enough fiber, if you're getting enough water, how you're digesting your food. When I saw there was food in my stools that I actually haven't been digesting, I kind of thought to myself, okay, Rebecca, let's look at this. Let's look at this on an energy side, on terms of energy. You know, I'm eating really well. You know, it's not like I'm eating a lot of crap. What's going on with my feelings? I had to really, really sit down with myself and say, okay, well, what's not happening? That needs to happen. Like, I need to be here. I need to be podcasting. I need to be writing. All the things that I know I need to be doing as a creative being. Because it's about the 1% showing up. It's not about trying to do everything. And I think sometimes even with myself, I recognize that I could get overwhelmed really, really easily because of all the stuff that I know I need to do. And that's quite possibly you too. So we can sit down with ourselves and write ourselves a big long to-do list for all we want to do. But if we're not really in tune with our being, then we're never going to feel satisfied. I'm really pleased to be with you today because already myself, just doing this, I feel so much better knowing that I'm accomplishing some of the things that I set out to do this week. You know, it's small steps to success. You know, it's constant. It's baby steps. It's not always these big, huge things that happen in your life. And, you know I've seen it in my life. I've seen it with my clients. I'm living testimony to what's possible when you really tune into the desires of your heart. Things to really look out for, people, if you are experiencing of the following, like digestive problems. Like I said, I had problems with I felt problem with my pancreas, ulcers, liver problems, gallstones. I mean, I had a gallstone during my pregnancy, so I immediately knew there was a solar plexus problem. Diabetes, hypoglycemia, all these things are an indication that your solar plexus is out of whack. There's lots of things that you can do to put that back in check. And one is to reflect, and redefine who you are, and don't be attached to an outcome. Really enjoy this journey we call life. Really be present to each day. Really be satisfied at the end of the day before you go to bed that what you've done was all you could do for that day. Know that you have another day to work on your goals and your dreams, whatever that may be. There's some breath work you can do. You can just be sitting, in a position like crossed legs and just breathe. But really breathe up for your solar plexus. So you can do like 2 breaths, like... So like really fast, a couple of breaths in, out, and do that for like 5 minutes and get focused before you start your day. Maybe do that at the beginning of your day before you set out to, start on your to-do list or whatever it may be that you need to get done for the day. Because being in tune with you means that you're definitely more of an effective, productive being rather than being frazzled and stressed and overworked and not achieving enough. We're all doing the best we can, right? Your life and your life is your life, and your soul is here to guide you, and it's all about your contribution to life. It's enough when you're just contributing the best way you can. Trust that it's enough. Because even when you get to where you want to get to, or you feel like, oh, I've got there now, you'll always want more. We'll always want more. That's the whole point of being here. We're experiencing life on all its levels. It's okay to want more. But if we're only focused on wanting more and we're not focused on the now, missing out a massive chunk of our lives. Remember that ego always loves accomplishment and it's never satisfied. Your gifts are what the world needs, so really focus on your gifts, and I'll be talking more about your gifts and talents maybe next week. I'd like to talk a bit more about the sacral chakra, because that's all about your passion and your pleasures And that's what lights us up, I guess. Well, it's the reason why I'm here, because I absolutely love sharing with you. And I'm going to be writing a blog post today. So yeah, I'll put some info here as well. You can click on the links and head over to the blog, to the website, onto the blog, where I'll be explaining a little bit more information on this podcast and what I've been sharing with you guys today. Bit of a short podcast, but I hope I've got my message across. Guys, just chill, enjoy your life. It should be a pleasure. It should bring you joy. You shouldn't feel overstressed about anything, really and truly. We can manage it. And if we're not managing it, then we can really retreat at any given moment and say, this doesn't make me feel good. And understand and really look and see what does make you feel good. Some good news coming for January. I am going to be doing the Patreon, and I'm so excited to be taking people on. So if you've ever thought about having coaching with me, but you weren't, too sure, or maybe it's a money thing, I'm going to be introducing Patreon, so you'll get access to all my teachings, everything you need to get in alignment and start living your best life now. Yep. So I'll be working on that between now and Jan, and it'll be launching in January. And what a great way to start the year. I'll be so excited to have you on a part of my tribe, as part of a community, because I think healing happens when there's more than one person doing it. Like when there's a team of you committed to healing and becoming your best version of self, then that's where change happens. I'm all for change happening in the world, and I really feel that this is why I'm here. So it's my pleasure. So until next time, guys, stay aligned and divine, and I will speak to you soon.